Okay, let's start for today. So, before we start the sharing session today, let me just introduce myself. So, my name is Darren. So, I came from a company named InvestingNote. So, InvestingNote basically is a social media platform, just like Facebook, but we are more focused towards stock investment community. So, inside our platform, there is a lot of users sharing the stock ideas and their own analysis. Let me just share my screen to have a better idea. Okay. So you can see this is our platform. So we have website, we have iOS app, we have Android app as well. So in here, you can access to a lot of different analysis from the user themselves. So they have a lot of different analysis and discussion over just Malaysia. You can see over here. There's also Singapore interaction with the user. So other than that, we also have a stock price over here. You can see. Okay, so we have Singapore stock price, US stock price, Malaysia stock price, Hong Kong, and also Forex as well. So other than that, we also have portfolio features. So normally when the user, they have more than one CDS account, they have two account with different brokerage firm. So they are very hard for them to actually have an overlook on how their investment is doing. So they can use this feature to have an overview. So our portfolio features able to help you in terms of that. So you just need import, or you can manually add on all the transaction you did before, and we will able to help you to keep track on that. So we also help you to keep track the dividend as well. So this is more on the how is the investment doing. Okay, so we also have the price alert and also event alert. So I think the interesting one is this event alert. So normally when you see from the Facebook group and or any other groups or newspaper, you can see that, hey, for example, like Talklove, they are releasing their quarterly report. So if you want to get latest news in real time, so you have to go to the Bursa and then keep checking on the page, see whether there's any new announcement. So but we have this feature over here is an event alert, so you can just create and we will send you the alert when there is a new announcement upcoming. For example, you can try Supermax. So you can just put in, you remember to take all this, then you can just save, then we will able to create the notification for you. So let's say when there is any company announcement, they will alert you. Okay, right. Okay, so today let's start about our topic. Okay, so for today, actually we are doing this this topic is a best job with a finance degree, not just for a finance student, but it's all for a business degree student or anyone who is interested in finance industry. So since January 2020, there's a lot of new CDS account opening in Bursa. So I think it's around 218,000 of new CDS account. So there's a lot of people coming into this stock market also because of COVID situation. So and during the 11th of August, Bursa Malaysia actually hit a record high of 27.8 billion shares trading volume. Okay, so it's very, very big. So all this new norm, is it really represent a high potential in the career path related to finance? So today we actually created this topic to share with you guys regarding the finance sector. So before we start, so there is a few button behind below the browser. So if you have any questions, so you can click on the Q&A button and then you put in your question over there. So for the chat button, right, is actually a chat place for with friends. So let's say if you have any questions, you can click and input into the Q&A. Okay. So let's start. Let's just invite our speaker today, Anson and Max. Hello, guys.
Hello. Morning,
Hello,
guys.
everyone.
Afternoon.
Hey,
Hi.
afternoon. Yeah.
Okay, so so before we start, right, let's try to see anyone already know about Max and Anson? If yes, then put a yes. If no, put a no. Let's just see. Okay, we have Day over here. Okay.
It's nice.
Okay, it's okay because I saw a lot of people say no because I think they still not okay. Paul say Max is from Want to Invest. Yes, correct. Okay, so Max, can you introduce yourself so that I think still a lot of still a lot of audience and don't know who are you.
Yes. Okay, good afternoon, guys. My name is Max. I'm from this blog named Want to Invest. So what we do is mainly we share value investing posts. We specialize in creating Chinese contents. So I'm the content creator for the page. So usually whatever post you see written on Want to Invest, usually by me. And if you see infographic, is by my partner. So hopefully today we can bring value to you from investor perspective as well as Anson, someone from the financial industry. We can shed some light to you, especially to university students who might not know what to do next.
Okay, great. Okay, so Anson, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi everyone. My name is Anson. Let me just paste my copy my Facebook page link to all of you. Okay. So I'm Anson, one of the founder for the BullBearBursa page for the Facebook page for Malaysia. Okay, so basically our target audience are all Malaysian Chinese, whereby in the previous days we actually aim to do English and Chinese content also. Okay, but we realized that the engagement is not so fantastic along the day. That's why we switch our focus to focus on the Chinese market instead. Okay, so basically we also like what Max is doing, we have been creating financial contents, and we share a lot of infographics over the Facebook in the past few months. Okay, so at the same time, we for my page itself, we also manage some of our clients' investments. Yeah.
Okay, so I think Anson and Max, they are really very experienced in terms of finance industry and finance sector. So let's just start with Anson. So can you tell us about what is your current job in this finance sector?
Okay, actually, since I created this page when I was still a university student. Okay, so after that, I went through my career in the financial institutions for about 5 years. Then recently, actually just last month, I resigned from my job from Maybank, okay, as a wealth investment consultant, which I actually help high net worth clients, which is the premier and the private banking clients for their personal investments. All right. So in the previous days before I joined Maybank, prior to that, I actually joined iFast Capital. And over there, I joined as a compliance executive first. Then I transferred to the research department. Okay, whereby I cover mostly on the fixed income and the company profiles, credit profiles.
So just now you mentioned about high net worth, right? So how high is high net worth? Can you share a little bit? Because I was not sure how high is how high.
No problem. Technically for Maybanks, but I would say most of the banks, their threshold is similar. Okay, so if your cash or investable asset in with the bank is less than 250K, right? Those are the normal people, like the normal people whereby you have to go to the conventional bank counters to queue and wait for any transaction. Okay, that one is what they call privileged banking. Then if your investable asset or your cash is more than 250,000 one, then you will be classified as the premier banking. Then if your cash or investable asset is more than 3 million, then you will be a private banking client.
So high net worth is above
250 and 3 million.
I see. 250 and until 3 million is high net worth.
Yeah, beyond that. Yeah.
Okay. So what is your daily job?
At this moment is fully focused on the page whereby we are planning to do like financial branding, help investors and connect some of the financial institutions to make sure that investors get the proper education. Okay. To make sure they know what they are investing. This is our core values. These are our core values. But in the previous days, do you want me to share further in my previous employments and all this now or later?
We keep it later. Okay, we keep it later. So Max, So what is your current job? Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, actually, I'm like Anson. Most of my time I spend on managing my page, Want to Invest. But then at the same time, I'm also a licensed dealer for TS Securities, a licensed stockbroking firm in Malaysia. Okay, I'm sure quite a number of you are interested in joining the remiser and dealer industry. So we'll share about that later on. So just a brief introduction of what I do on a daily basis. So normally I would analyze companies and find out like some common questions like company announcements. Some of our clients from dealer side, they might ask, hey, what is this ICPS? Hey, what does this right issue do? So what I do is I share the info to my colleagues, my other dealer friends, so they will blast the info to their clients. Okay. On
I
other hand, on Want to Invest, I will tend to research, or if I have any site visit, company visits, um, or I have any Zoom meeting with the listed companies, we will share the information either on Facebook or on our Telegram or private group.
I see. So both of you actually spend quite a lot of time in your Facebook page, right? So normally, how long do you spend for that? Because you also have a full-time job, right?
I
So how do you
maybe
allocate your time on this?
maybe I let Anson answer the question first.
Okay, I would say in the previous days before I resign and fully focus on the page side, it's pretty tough to manage it, to make it a balance. That's why I try to strike the balance by resigning and focus more this side. But ultimately, I realized time are still not enough because in the previous days when you are under employment, right, 9 to 6 or 9 to 5 is the working hours. Then you keep looking at the clock, make sure things will count down very quickly. Reach 5 p.m. Then you want to leave the office already. Okay, but I would say for most of the highly paid job in the financial industry, this is not the official working hours is definitely not the time that you should or you actually need to work for. It's definitely beyond that. Okay, so that's why after I try to make it a balance. That's why I resign and try to focus here. Yeah, but ultimately I realized time is still not enough, and at this moment I even work more than 12 hours every day, I would say.
I
Yeah.
see. I see.
Yeah.
So how about you, Max?
Okay, technically I'm working on two pages. One is Want to Invest. Another one is Eventual Group. So I spend at least let's say 5 to 6 hours per day to attend to the creating posts, studying and stuff, and etc. So that's my minimum time spent on creating content. So apart from that, I also sometimes we go for site visit. That takes up to 2 to 3 hours per day. So my time is quite flexible. Sometimes it only takes like 4 hours per day. If I'm busy, I'm spending time with my family that day, or I
Max, Max, hold on, yeah, your sound
Not
is
so
off.
stable.
Yeah.
Something wrong with my speaker.
Yeah. Now it's okay.
Better.
Yeah. Back to the thing. Normally I spend 5 to 6 hours at least on my pages. Then if I have a couple of meetings to attend to, so on that day I might spend 10-14 hours per day. But like Anson said, in the financial industry, there's no 9 to 6 when you are in a high-paying job. So just take reminder, for example. Sometimes you need to wake up in 6:30 or 7 in the morning in order to prepare some material, like how the US market performed yesterday, how does some commodities perform yesterday. So you need to prepare the materials for your client. That's why you need to wake up like 6:30, 7 in the morning. But of course, I'm not waking up that early.
Okay, guys. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, right, you can just put it in the Q&A below. So we'll answer your questions. Okay. So before that, Max, because you are saying that you are a dealer, right? So I always want to ask this question: what is the difference between dealer and remiser? I feel that their job scopes is almost the same, right? But actually, what's the difference between them?
I think this is a very interesting question. Now, before that, does everyone in the room know what is dealer and remiser? If you know, can you please reply yes? If you new to this, just reply no.
Okay. Hi, Josephine. Okay, cutting no. He said no.
Okay, I see most of
Okay.
the people. Hi. Okay, so what the dealer representative do is you handle the client normal daily trading activities. For example, if they were to deposit or withdraw, you assist them on that matter. For example, if they had any investment queries, let's say sometimes they will ask you opinion on stocks. Of course, dealer representative is not licensed to give any investment advice, but at the same time, you can give what are available on the market. So your position is more like a assister, an agent to assist the client in his or her investment. Okay, in simple terms. So remiser and dealer is like practically the same job. Apart, just the difference is remiser is the partner of the stockbroking firm. Okay, so they split the profit, the so-called brokerage, the trading income between of the client. They split it off. Okay, whether the proportion so far as the concern is 50-50. Okay, so you share the profit. Whereas dealer, you actually get employed as a normal employee. You get fixed pay, and whether you get brokerage income or not, it actually depends on your remiser team. Okay, so that's the biggest difference. So I know that the market is quite hot now. So as you know, a lot of trading income generated by broker house. So this actually trigger a lot of people. They want to join the uh, dealer
Reminder or
remiser.
dealer.
Yes. One more thing about remiser is actually you need a certain sum of capital to put at the
Okay.
brokerage house. Okay. In case your client has any contra loss or any
I see.
losses that they haven't paid you back, they will deduct from your deposit first. So you really need a large sum of capital. I would say maybe 200K and bare minimum 200K, 100, 200K. Okay, in order to create to get trading limit for your clients.
I see.
So it's
So
quite
is this the same for reminder?
no that one
Sorry,
is remiser.
for is it the same for dealer?
Dealer, you don't have to bear the risk of the capital over there
I
because
see.
normally dealer you are parked under one remiser. So the remiser will take over the capital part. Of course, if you want to contribute part in the capital part, you could discuss with your remiser. But yes, it's not as easy as it seems. And also, now is the best time, I would say best time so far for remiser and dealer. But for those who want to really join this industry, you really need to consider. We can see on last Friday, market is cooling down now. So yeah, you have to be careful because there's 2 license required.
I see.
Okay, first is module 6 and
Module
module
6.
7. Yeah, by Security Commission, or you can get them at SDIC.
So this module 6 and module 7 actually is a financial related test, or what kind of test is that?
It's a basic introduction to the equity or stock market. A very brief and something, very brief introduction and some compliance matter about listed companies. It's a very brief matter.
So
Yes.
for reminder and dealer, both of them also need to take this module 6 and 7.
Yes, of course.
I see. So is there any minimum qualification for me to take this module?
Yes. The minimum would be you need diploma. Of course,
I see.
if you have a degree, it's even better.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. So I think it's quite interesting as a dealer and reminder because the market have been quite hot for the past few months. So I also believe that Anson have a very interesting career path. So I also want to hear a bit more on share us career path since I mean when after you graduate.
Yes, thank you, Darren. Okay, so I will take over the floor from right now. Okay, so since I graduate, I actually started in the company is called iFast Capital. Okay, you can go and Google it. They are MNC company, whereby this is an entity that they set up in Malaysia for their Malaysia operation. You can go and search iFast Corp. They are listed in Singapore XJX. All right. So in the early days, why I opt to be a compliance executive, if I exclude out all my internship, my first permanent job is as a compliance executive. Okay, the key reason is that actually I wanted to be a research analyst at the first place, but as if also any of you know, okay, is the line okay? Just to check, because is the line okay? If it's okay, you can just give me an okay to confirm. All right. Line. Okay. All right. Thank you for all your response.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah. So because the demand and the supply of the job vacancy for research analyst or fund manager, this kind of role is pretty rare one, I would say. If you go and job street, you go to job street and you try to search, I would say you can rarely get any, I would say maximum you can get is 1 or 2 or 3 companies that is hiring research analysts, okay? But those are likely to be those small companies, whereby big investment banks, normally they don't open the vacancy to the public in this way one. Normally they will get internal transfer or some of their trainee programs to get their quota for the analyst one. This is normally how it works like in the industry. So some of the advice that I can give you is that make sure you get somewhere, you get started somewhere in the financial industry first, even though it is unrelated to what you want to do at the first place. Okay, but at least if you get into the FI first, you will get the opportunity to seek for a transfer afterwards. That's what my thoughts and planning at that point of time. And I also actually asked my previous boss during the interview session whether I can actually seek for a transfer afterwards if there's some vacancy available. Then he told me yes, because ultimately they want someone that understands the industry and understand the company operation. So if you are in the company for some time already, be it you are in compliance or other departments, but at least you know what's the flow of the industry and the market. Okay, so definitely they will consider you first. Okay, so after a year, when I being a compliance executive, then I transferred to be a research guy lah. Okay, but I would say I'm glad that I make this move at the first place. The key reason is that because iFast in Malaysia, they are not super big IBs that compared to CMB and Malaysia, CMB and Maybank in Malaysia. Okay, so at that point of time, few years back, I think it's year 2016, they are at the midst of some applying some license from Securities Commission. So because I'm the compliance exec there, I get to heavily involved in all these applications process. Okay, whereby at that time I actually helped them. I was in the working group to apply for their fixed income license. Okay, because they are getting the license from SC, the regulator for the capital market of Malaysia, okay, to get to deal in securities, but it's restricted to bonds, because previous days they only get the license for unit trust, then they want to get the license for bonds. And if you actually read some news, you will be able to see that at this point of time, they are getting the license for stockbroking already. So this kind of small company, you get this kind of exposure, and I get to deal with the licensing people from the Securities Commission, and that's why I get to understand better in terms of how the financial regulation works. Because many things that if you can technically, if you get to understand how the financial regulation works, you will realize that many things that you cannot do in this sense, you can do in this sense, and you know what's your boundary and what's your limit.
I see.
Yeah.
Other than like helping these to apply some license, right? So what is the daily job compliance job?
Okay, mainly about controlling the risk of the company, whereby you have to screen through, be it, for example, it depends on what kind of risk department that you need to focus on, because some of it, it can be client risk, those kind of credit risk, but some of it can be market risk, whereby you need to do back testing to look at the whole bank portfolio. So it depends on compliance. So in this sense, it can be separate into a few segments also, I would say. But previously, during my time as a compliance in iFast, we cover everything because the department is very small. It's only 2 persons from Malaysia and 1 they're reporting to a boss in Singapore.
Wow, so small.
Yeah,
to handle the
yeah,
whole
but
company.
yeah, but ultimately working in a small company, you get to enjoy the coverage whereby you can cover A to Z. So you get to learn things very fast. Because if you ask me, compared to the years that I work in iFast and compared to the year although it's just 1 year in Maybank, but I would say the rate of growth that you get to enjoy in a small company, I would say is at least 5 to 10 times compared to a big company.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so but you go in as a compliance, but after that you change for to be a research analyst, right? So but I mean at first you want to go into as a research analyst, but you couldn't get, so you go to compliance. So what makes you feel that you really like this research analyst?
Okay, as most of the finance graduate, I would say your passion and you will definitely dream to be one of the research and analysts, whereby you can make some buy-sell calls and analyze the company, and you believe that this is one of the most high-paid job in the industry. I would say most of the students with a finance degree, if you go and do a survey, I think at least half of them, they will have this kind of dream to be a research analyst from the IB like Maybank or CIMB or this kind of investment banks. I would say that.
Can we do a short survey? Okay, so if you are looking for a research job, right? Can you type 1? If it's other job, you type 2. Okay, 2. Okay. Okay, Cindy is 1. Okay,
I'm not sure whether all of the participants here, they are from the finance course
1
or
and
not.
2.
Or yeah.
Okay, I see. So I think a lot of the attendees today is from finance job.
Finance, okay, finance course, right.
Finance course. All from psychology. One of them is
one
from
psychologist. Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue. So so basically once after you change from compliance to is it totally it will be totally different job, right?
Yeah.
So can you share a bit more about how research do I every day or just online to check on the company stuff, or how should I do it?
Perhaps I would share from my experience in iFast there, I was a research analyst that cover fixed income whereby it's the bond segments in the ringgit, Sing dollar, and US dollar bonds. So I get to cover and I have a list of portfolio about 30 companies 30 companies across Asia they are mostly Asia companies. Okay, so my daily job is that I need to go through and see all these kind of companies, whether there's any credit rating changes or anything that is it will adversely affect the company credit profile. That's the key job that I normally do as a research guy. Then I have normally I need to come up with one article a week. Normally, I would say if compared to other IB, I'm not sure, but perhaps they will have a higher article target over the day's one. But why for iFast I only do one article a week is that I also need to switch some of my focus to do some other working group special projects, whereby during my days there, 3 years, we have been they are actually applying to be one of the Malaysia local bond exchange in Malaysia. For Malaysia, they are coming out with this kind of projects. That's why we are actually dealing with securities, but commission. But ultimately, it couldn't work out. I would say, yeah. But in a small company, you need to cover more things. But in a big company, I would say you only need to focus on your research article writing. That's all. Yeah.
I see.
And attend some analyst briefing, of course, along the way. Yeah.
Okay, so I think it really helps you now, right? Because now you're also like managing a Facebook page, which you always have some different kind of analysts and especially infographic for the user, for your followers.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, so after research, so you did compliance. So which job do you take after that?
After research and compliance, once I resigned from iFast as a research analyst, then I joined Maybank as an investment consultant already. whereby my job, my daily routine is that if you all are familiar with the bank structures, okay, basically if you go to a bank, if you try to look for any investment solutions, right, they will redirect you to a counter whereby there's a personal banker one, okay. Personal banker are the one that serve the normal customers one, okay. But for the high net worth, they have another one role, which what they call a relationship manager. Those are the people that they will serve the high net worth clients, okay. So my role is that I will guide and lead the relationship manager and give them in terms of investment directions. Because I would say they are just a normal salesperson. They may not have necessary investment knowledge about a certain funds or certain bonds or some certain derivative structured products, how it works and things like that one. They are just a purely a salesperson whereby they also, because they not only have to cover investment segment, they also have to cover the loan financing all these things. So I would say their investment knowledge is quite minimal, I would say, yeah. So I need to give them the direction and update them about the market and what funds or what bonds that you should actually focus at this moment, and how we actually structure our portfolio for our clients. Because many people will say when you are not really wealthy, you need to concentrate a bit for your portfolio to actually make sure you maximize your return over the years, okay. But for high net worth, their money is very substantial already. So ultimately, it's not about how much, it's not about that 20-30% or even 50% that you can generate for them over the years one. It's more like how you can consistently control their risk, reduce the risk, and give them consistent returns. Yeah, so in that part, we actually emphasize a lot on portfolio allocations. Yeah.
I see. Okay. So Max, are you there? Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
next I want to ask, right? So I always heard a job name means like fund manager. Can you share a little bit more on this? So what does a fund manager do?
Practically, if I'm not mistaken, Anson, correct me if I'm wrong, because
Okay.
I'm out from industry so long. So fund manager, what they do is technically like the name suggests, they manage funds for clients. There are some fund manager, they manage like a public portfolio, okay, like unit trust. They generate lots of pool of capital from a public. There are also some specialized fund manager, like Anson just mentioned. They create a special portfolio for ultra high net worth person. They will, let's say, meet the client along with the salesperson. Okay, then they will discuss what is your ultimate goal, what is the return you are seeking. Then they will generate a unique investment portfolio, whether it's a fixed income, mixture of equities, depends on the client. So technically what they do is to manage people's money, in short.
I see. I see. In short, is any from Anson?
Yeah, the key role is definitely they will manage the people's money and just to let you all know in a bit more details, technically normally for a fund manager, they don't need to do research themselves.
I see.
Most of it, they
Then
have a team
how do they have a team?
they
There's
will
the team
have a
behind
team
them.
of research analysts that is handling for the buy side. That's what we call buy side because they are the party that is seeking to buy some assets for investment. So they will have a team of research analysts to cover for them for the research part. So they straight away look at the reports and the recommendation, then they make decision on how to allocate the funds accordingly. Yeah.
I see. Okay. So I think next question is a very interesting question. Is which job is the highest pay in financial sector? Okay, before we start, right? So okay, guys. So which job do you guys think is the highest pay? You can comment below. Let us see before we start to tell you. Okay. Any ideas? Like, okay, so just now we have discussed like reminder, we have discussed dealer, we also discussed analyst, compliance, and also fund manager. So Lim, fund manager. Okay, Paul Jamin, fund manager. Okay, Cutting, analyst. Ahmad, corporate financial manager. Okay, there's CEO. Portfolio So what is the difference between portfolio manager and fund manager? Is it
Normally it should be the same lah. I guess they are referring to the same lah. Normally it's the same one.
I see. Okay. Okay, so Anson, what do you think, which job is the highest pay?
Actually it depends, because ultimately I also know some analysts whereby their pay is 20-30K per month one, but you need to be very senior and experienced. And fund manager, I would say the range also is normally from 10 plus to 50. Also you can get this kind of fund managers, but normally they also should be quite senior already, but in the early days normally you couldn't get this kind of rate. Okay, but if you are young and you want to get a higher pay and things like that, you need to make sure that you're involved in some of the sales component job already.
Sales component job.
For example, like remisiers, or even be a professional financial advisor also, you can get beyond this kind of rates also. But you need to make sure you manage a client's portfolio that is beyond, that is super huge. It's super huge because normally how they charge is that if you're managing a portfolio of 100 million, right, you normally will be charging 1% for your management fee as a professional financial advisor. So if your pot is big, normally there shouldn't be any limits to your income rather than if you are just a salary fund manager or analyst, definitely your upside is capped already somewhere. Then maybe we can get Max to talk more about the dealers and the remisiers salaries. Because I think it depends on the trading volumes also.
Yes, for remiser, as I shared just now, it depends on the brokerage income they generated for the broker house. So for dealer, if you want to become a dealer, fixed salary generally around 2.5 to 3K is very minimal, but no less is a quite good start. Okay, but then I can share with you for our team, for new joiners, if you see what every month the average 5 to 7 is not an issue previously. So in good market now, probably they can get 10-15 for new joiners. We are talking about less than 1 year experience in the industry. For those seasoned dealer remiser, I can tell you in this period of time, a bare minimum income a good remiser can get is around 200 to 300,000 in the period of 3 months. Okay, so an average of 100,000 per month. But then again, it also depends, like Anson said, it depends on your sales, how good your sales are, who are your clients, how often they trade. Okay, another interesting high-paying job that not a lot of people that notice or being offered to, because this job is very stressed, really stressed, and then this job actually doesn't have a lot of what do you call qualifications required. It's called PDT, proprietary day trader. Maybe Anson, you can share more about PDT.
Proprietary day trader, actually I have one of my partners that's working as the proprietary day traders. So normally they will have two types. The first type is that they actually it's the same type also. Technically is that the company or the IB, they will allocate a certain sum of money to you. Okay, I'm not sure how big it could be, because for one of my partners, he has been as a proprietary day trader for 6-7 years already, and looking at his commitment, I know he's quite high paid also. So I guess his return should be quite fantastic. So it depends on your experience and your skill set. If you are I would say if you are very good traders, of course your pot can be bigger, and in terms of your sharing, in terms of the percentage also, you can bargain for better deals. Okay, but for this kind of job, normally you need to bear with those kind of volatility and the risk from the market. But ultimately, I would say it's experienced stocks. And it depends on whether you are born to be and you have the talents to be the proprietary day trader or not. Also, because ultimately it depends on some of the, like the business psychology side also, is you need to have some business, not to say business, trading psychologist, how you control emotion, and it makes you a better trader or not also. Yeah, because be a good investor, I guess most of the people, if you have logic sense and if you understand the company well and things like that, you can be a very good investor. But be a trader as a day trader, and you want to give consistent results to your clients on the IBs, definitely it will need to take some of the lucks also, I would say. Yeah.
I see. Okay, so there's a one question from Almond Lim, right? So as a fund manager, can he choose whatever asset he want in the portfolio, or maybe have some certain limitation for choosing the assets?
Perhaps this question I will take on. Okay, basically as a fund manager, you will be given a fixed specific mandate for yourself. For example, because there are many asset classes in this world, it can be equities whereby you buy into stocks. It can be fixed income whereby you buy into bonds, okay? And it can be alternative investment also where you buy into gold, precious metal, or even properties also can, okay? So it depends on what asset class you are talking on, okay? Because ultimately, most of the fund manager, normally they will be expert and specialized in a certain asset classes only. In the actual term, I didn't see any of them that is very good in all the asset classes. If we are talking about equities, then they will separate it further to the US market, the China market, or the Asia Pac market, or ASEAN market also possible, or only local Malaysia market also possible. So normally it will work in this way. But some of the funds, they actually engage like two fund managers whereby they do a balanced portfolio, which is quite a mixture of equities and bonds. They give them the flexibility to adjust between equities and bonds. This kind of funds, then you have more flexibility in adjusting your allocation to play around. Yes.
Okay. So so another job actually I want to discuss about is regarding blogger and also financial blogger and also financial page Facebook page owner. So because I noticed that there's a lot of new financial blogger, new financial page come out since this March. So let's say that I'm interested to create my own page. So how do I start from there? So Max, because you are you are handling two page, right? So can you give some advice or how, or share your experience on how you started these two page?
Okay. To start a page, technically what you need is only Facebook account. But then to maintain and grow your page, what you really need is your passion towards the industry. With that in mind, I would like to answer one question in the Q&A session. So this question says, what makes Anson and I so sure about the financial industry is the one that suits us. For me, it's purely my interest in the equity market. So not sure anyone of you here watch Tai Si Doi at a few 10 years back then. Yeah, it's quite an interesting movie. It also shows like how cruel the market works, but it actually makes me interested in the equity market, or in general the stock market. So for my page, I created One to Invest, I think on 2018 November, and another page, Eventual Group, I think it's on 2019 early on. So again, it's very easy to create a page, but what you need to do, the hard part, is to maintain the content. You need to update consistently. You need to try to get more networks, because as time progresses, your information it's a competitive industry now. You have to compete. Hey, who gets the info faster? Let's say Asia got their quarterly report out. You have to compete against other. Hey, who gets the report out first? Who is going to do live first? So this kind of thing. As time progresses, what you need to do is to expand your networks, so you can actually get some information that are quite exclusive to your page. That's what you need to do in order to advance. But in order to create, if you're purely out of your passion to share, you don't have to worry about all these kind of things. You can start one immediately, maybe after this webinar. You can go ahead and start one, because that's how I started. I started with the heart of sharing only. I do my own study and then I share it online. So as time progresses, more and more followers. So it forces you to improve actually. because more people are looking at you. You really have to fact check everything to make sure it's right. So it forces you to improve. Darren, I think you muted your mic.
Anson, how about your side?
For my side,
Yeah.
actually, I created my page. The ideas come along, I think during a yamcha session with my friends in the uni days, whereby I see some of the financial bloggers out there in the market. I think that one is in year 2000, early 2016 already, 16 that time. So I see some of them, they are sharing certain, but in the early days, they are very, I would say not many bloggers but I feel like it looks like their knowledge is not up to the par yet from what I feel at the time as a finance student, because I see their background also not from finance, but they are talking about stocks as a stock guru and things like that. So I feel like if they can do it, then as a financial professionals, we should have do better and provide the better advice to the publics and things like that. So that's why I came up with the ideas to some of my two of my co-founders that time, why not we create a page and we start to do it on a weekly or daily basis, just to share some of our thoughts. Then along the years or so, because at that point of time when we started, is out of the interest only, and we didn't think that we need to like monetize or we need to do anything with the page branding or reputations also. But along the years, when you get more experience from the industry and you feel there are more things that you can actually carry out, okay, as a financial blogger or a finance KOL, whereby you can really affect the society in a good way. That's how I see things, because ultimately I would say, like, if you want to affect the industry in a bad way, you can do it in many ways. There are many things that you can do to affect the industry, the society in a bad way one. Okay, if we look at some of the bloggers out there, okay, but as a financial professional, because my whole team, all of us, we are some of them already gotten their CFA chartered titles, and every one of us are the rest of us are still taking our exam also. So that's the core value that I told my partners whereby if we are the top professionals in the industry already and we are not doing the good deeds to share the right things for the public, then what do we expect the others to actually do that? How do we really expect they all to do that? So that's the core value that I want to instill and implant to the society, that value investing, and you know what you are investing along the way. Yeah, that's very important.
Okay, so let me see. Okay, some of the questions here, I think this Anson can help to answer. How CFA can help in research analyst job?
Okay. If we talk about analysis, I would say getting CFA is more towards it. It will definitely improve your analytical skill one, because I would say CFA has 3 levels, 1, 2, 3. Okay, the first level is basically what we study in the finance degree. Okay, but because CFA is they classify CFA as a master degree already, and the level 2 and level 3 are all the stuff that you will study inside is I will say it's something that I didn't study before during my degree time one. And because during the degree time, I don't really study also, because most of the thing is that I read a bit, then I feel like it's very common sense. I don't really need to like go and read through a lot then and go for an exam one. But I would say for the CFA, it's very different things. It's a very different thing, because it will test you many. It will teach you many things, whereby for example, it will help you to spot, and it will help you to spot many financial gimmicks, whereby a lot of the companies, they would try to hide some figures in this kind of way, off balance sheet matters and all these kind of things. And I would say because I'm taking my 3rd level, level 3 now. Okay, I would say if you really want to, you have the passion to be a very details analyst, you will definitely need to take CFA, because it will enhance your analytical skill throughout many ways. It's really many ways. But just to let you know, taking CFA is not the matter of how smart you are. It depends on how hardworking you are. Because I have seen some of my seniors now, okay, they are from Kazanas and they get 23 A1s during his time, 23 A1s,
Wow.
and he's the scholar from the JPA and go to UK to study, okay, throughout for 5 years. He also take his master, then he takes CFA, he failed 3 times for his level 2. Because he don't have the time to really put the effort to study. It's not a matter of how smart you are, really. It's about how disciplined you are to study every day, at least 2 3 hours per night, I would say. Because most of the people, when you off from a job already, you only have your night time to study. Okay, so if your bosses, they are some fund managers or they are CFA holders, then they will really know that this guy got CFA means that he is very disciplined in certain ways, whereby he can control and manage his time very well throughout the years that he studies. This one is the, I would say, is the value added things also. This one is what my boss told me in the previous days. Yeah.
I see. Okay. So Max, okay, another questions, right? Is one attendees, he asked, what books or course do you recommend a new trader should take before entering the market?
Definitely, it's a very beginner book for everyone to read. Definitely Rich Dad Poor Dad. It gives you the right mindset to enter the market. It's in fact my first financial book that I actually read. I think like a few years back then. It helps me a lot, really a lot. So again, the book that you should really read, no matter you are already in the financial industry or you just fresh into the market. If you never read this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, you should definitely go for it, the first thing. Then if you say trader, for trader, there are lots of books that you can refer on. It's not really necessary for you to go for courses. Okay. A lot of people has been asking, should I really invest my money first or should I go for some courses first? It's not necessary for you to go for courses first. The most important thing is you try to think clearly, what do you really want? Some people, they are investors, but they go for classes for traders. Some traders, but they go for classes for investors. So I think you should make it clear what do you want first before attending any courses. And again, it's not compulsory for you to attend any kind of guru courses for you to start trading. In fact, a lot of successful investors, they also, it's not like they attend lots of courses, but then it's from their experience. From every loss you make, you really need to learn from it. Else, you're gonna suffer a lot in the investment journey.
Okay. Anson, anything to add on this?
I think nothing. Yeah.
Okay. So one of the attendees, he asked, what's the average time someone take to ascend from an analyst position to a fund manager position? Is it possible to reach that position within 5 years as an analyst?
I would say it's possible, but it depends on what firm that you are in. Because as portfolio or fund managers, they will need to have some junior fund managers also. But you need to know fund managers and analysts, they are doing totally different things. Some of the people, they enjoy doing the analysis process and they want to stick with analysts. So it depends on what's your passion towards. Because I would say most of the portfolio or fund managers, what they do is try to time the market more. They don't really do the analysis themselves already. Yeah.
Okay, so next question is, okay, this one is a good question. So I think Max can help to answer this. Trading or investing better?
Okay, again, it's you can trade and invest at the same time. A lot of people try to differentiate whether trader.
Am I a trader or an investor?
Yes. In fact, it actually depends on the time frame one. Like, let's say for the past, we'll say past 5 months, from 5 to 6 months, from March until now, I would say it's a really good market for traders to perform. Technically, all sectors are rallying. Maybe due to the moratorium, I'm not sure. or maybe due to the fixed deposit they are expiring from the banks. Okay, so there's no right and wrong. There's no hard rule that you cannot trade when you are investing. In fact, sometimes I do trade also when my hand is itchy. So mainly I focus on investing most of the time, but then I also trade occasionally. But most important thing is how many percent of a proportion for you to allocate on your portfolio for investment, and how many percent for you to allocate in trading position. So for starters, I would say you ought to try out both first before you decide which one you should choose. So you don't have to fixate yourself whether you want to become a trader or investor. There's no limitation to it. So don't have to fix it.
Okay. So another question is, he asked if you want to involve in financial, is it possible for us to get CFA? Okay. I think answer before is no. But he asked another question is CFA would only help those people who passion in research analyst job?
I would say if you want to be an analyst or fund managers, it's better for you to take CFA. But if you are not really keen to be a risk analyst or fund manager, it's not too necessary lah. Yeah, because the commitment that you need to take out to study for that 2 years plus is pretty tough also, I would say.
So there's two questions. So the one question is asset class, including.
I think that is lagging.
The other is. So is it better now? Is it better?
We can hear you, but but the screen
It's
is
going off.
Hello.
Can you repeat the question again?
So just let me stop my video first. Is it clear for the site? Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So the next question is, does emerging cryptocurrency now? So in cryptocurrency class.
Does fund in Malaysia trade crypto? Perhaps I take over and help to answer this one. Does fund in Malaysia trade cryptocurrency nowadays? As of now, there's no commercial funds that is trading cryptocurrency. Okay. But I guess perhaps in the future, if more liberalization are coming out in the financial market, I think there will be some funds doing that also lah.
I think the regulatory issue is more important on the cryptocurrency. Not a lot of countries are giving green light for them.
Yeah.
I think Darren got off already. You are the host now.
Yeah.
Okay. We take over from here. Let's pick each of us pick one question, then we call it off. Oh, Darren is back.
Darren is back.
Yeah. So Anson, you get one question first.
Okay, I guess I will answer the new question. The MBA from a top university or CFA to be, so you are comparing whether you want to get MBA or CFA. Okay, this question is the most common question I face from most of my friends. Okay, so if you want to be an analyst or you want to involve heavily in the financial or the investment industry, you should get CFA first rather than MBA, because MBA is more for management kind of role one. So if you plan to be a CEO or COO afterwards, perhaps you can take MBA afterwards. But getting CFA is more important because you can make sure nobody can bluff you. Because there's many things that in the financial industry which is very, very technical one. Because I would say stock is the most easy asset classes already. If you look at all the other swaps and all the derivative, the swap point, all these things is super complicated. Yeah, so getting CFA is to protect yourself also better.
Okay, so one last question we going for is how to be confident in investing. Well, I would say quickest way is to lose enough money, then eventually you become really confident. So it sounds like a joke, but it's truth. You maybe ask Anson, do you lose quite substantial money before you really confident in choosing your stocks?
Yeah, I guess my worst investment is, if I'm not mistaken, is Berjaya Corp, whereby I lose about 15K in the early days of my investment. But I would say, ultimately, study is all about theories. You will need to have the practical experience when it come to investing one. It's just like how people say, work is work, study is study. Okay, so when you come out to the investment world, you need to study first to make sure that you understand the basic how the market works. Then you start to gain experience along the way. But if you don't study and you try to get experience solely, also you may get bluffed somewhere, in some sense also lah. Okay, so make sure that you study first before you gain the real experience. I think that one is very important also.
I hope
And to be more confident, definitely you need to have more experience. Then you will know what is right, what is wrong.
yes, I hope the bluff you mentioned is not from the BJ Corp lah, from management perspective.
Yeah.
Okay. So for myself, I lost around 20 plus K, around 70-80% of portfolio, because I trade warrants. And when I trade warrants, that time I'm not really that good. Not to say that I'm good, but I'm definitely better now. But then I got a bit of too much arrogant in trading warrants, so I lost quite a substantial money. So to answer that question, sorry, I went a bit far. You, like Anson said, you need lots of experience with generated from real-time investing and trading rather than what you read from the books. So because a lot of companies, their financials could look really nice. You can see there have been growth in the past year, but again, you need to enhance some I would say street-like styles into your investment. So for example, you need to know whether the industry is a sunset or sunrise industry. That will require your business knowledge and also your common sense. For example, let's take okay, plastic. Plastic is quite a debatable topic. Some people say it's a sunset industry because some government are banning the plastics. Okay, but in fact, do we really have other replaceable objects for plastic? I would say no at the moment. So as the time passes, I would say plastic consumption, even though we ban one-time use plastics like straws, straws is the main one. Okay, one-time use plastic. The demand is still there. Actually, the demand is still there. So it's a debatable topic whether you see it's a sunset or sunrise. Okay, from where you start investing to where you end, the time of period you determine whether it's sunset or sunrise is really important, because even though you see plastic is plastic stuff, let's say like those tapao box, the plastic one, okay, that replaced the Bao Li Long one, those kind you might think sunset industry, okay, because people are getting more environmental sophisticated. But in fact, over the past few months, this sector has actually been growing. So is it a sunset or sunrise? It depends. So yes, you need to enhance business sense, and also you need to know the cycle from your experience. And lastly, I think Darren has some issues with his network. So one moment, let me open the link. Again, we actually have a young investor campaign. That's the whole purpose of live today. So this is the event organized by InvestingNote. Okay, all university students or college students are welcome to join. So you can see a lot of prizes over there. Nintendo Switch, or I'm not sure whether there's a cash prize. So we encourage everyone here, okay, to join yourself or to ask your friends to join along together, because what we just share is about experience, and I believe this particular event can help you to get a little bit of experience and hopefully to skip out your lost part, the lose money part in your investment journey throughout the event. So I think Darren sent out a link over there, so whoever is interested maybe can click on the link and register. For now, the event is completely free. There's nothing behind it. You don't have to worry about getting conned or something. this event purely, I think, we're working out to giving back value to the society. So you can see we have a share investor, and also, of course, Anson's BullBearBursa and Want to Invest from us. And also, we have a sponsorship from quite a bit of other parties. So I think and I really encourage everyone to try it out. So I think that's all from my part. Anson, do you have anything to add on?
I think that's all. Yeah, thank you, Max, for covering all the slides. Or the stretch bits.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's all for our sharing today. Once again, thank you, InvestingNote, for organizing the event today, and also Anson for coming together. This is my first time doing live with Anson. Has been a really pleasure experience. I also learned quite a bit from him. So, and thank you again for all participants over here. I know it's Saturday evening. You could afternoon. You could do other stuff. Maybe you could hang out with your friends, or maybe you can chill at this time. But you chose to attend this webinar. So again, thank you very much, everyone, for attending and also organizing the event.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Okay, I can hear my voice, right? Okay, just now my line is really got an issue. So I think okay. So one last question is one user asked, do InvestingNote provide internship opportunity? Yes, we have. So if you're interested, you can always Facebook message us. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so one more question is, will this recording be uploaded? Yes, it's already uploaded to the groups. Once you have participate the challenge, then you will add into a group. Then this live will be inside. Okay. Okay. Once again, thank you, Anson. Thank you, Max, and thank you everyone who is participate today. So we are going to have next round is on 15th of September. Okay. We're going to post the webinar sharing details inside the group as well. Okay, so the next will be 15th of September. The topic is how to start investing with a small capital. Okay, see you guys again. Thank you very much and bye bye.